Welcome to
EPLACE,
the space for
general talking,
about all things entertaining. I'm your host EGB, and today I've got co-host, good friend H.
Hello everyone,
How you doing, bud?
I'm fine and you?
Yeah. Any news updates for you?
Actually no.
No?
No.
Okay, I've got a little bit of a gaming update. So I've been playing 2 new games this month at the beginning of October. The first one was a Ghost Recon Breakpoint. As some of you gamers might know, it's pretty broken, and luckily I only spent about 30 quid on it. But yeah, it's got a load of bugs and glitches, and
That is not good.
really, no.
I have a confession to make to all the geeks out there. I actually don't play a video game in the normal PlayStation thing or Xbox since I was 15.
15. Wow.
I know it's a very long time, yeah. I think the last game I played in PlayStation was, what was the name? Medieval.
Medieval, yeah.
Yeah, it was for PlayStation 2, so you can reckon how much long it was.
Well, they've actually just remastered the game for the PS4.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You're gonna make me buy a PlayStation 4 now?
Yeah, that was a classic game, that was.
Anna,
Remaking
all I
everything.
want for Christmas is a PS4 with Medieval on it, okay?
PS4 Pro, that's the one. No, I only really play on the PC, and because Breakpoint was a bit of a disappointment, I'm actually playing my first MMO, Arcade Unchained, and it's quite funny because the reason why Breakpoint is such a disappointment is that you're forced to pay to win. You pay, and then you get the best guns, and then you're like the best in multiplayer.
Yeah, that is the problem with most of the games nowadays, yeah? Even the ones that you download for free,
Well,
and I am doing actually air quotations now, on your phone or your tablet, from the Google app or something like that. Because if you actually want to advance faster than the others, you have to pay.
Well,
And
yeah.
you became no else than the credit card warrior. Yeah, it's
Funny
not
enough,
good at all.
this arcade game was free, and it ended up being a pay to win. That anybody that had money spent it, but the developers, because there was such a backlash, that they ended up creating this new game, which is the same, but you buy it for 20 quid, and then you don't have to buy anything else, and that's it.
Actually, I don't know if you were hearing the news this week about from the health office
No?
advising that the new form of gambling is actually paying for boxes for the games.
Yeah, it's a big problem, I think.
People, especially kids, teenagers, that are spending thousands of pounds per year
Yeah.
just to play.
And under the regulations, originally it didn't count as gambling, but it should be.
Surely it is. They are trying to change the law, I believe now.
Yeah,
So, yeah, which is good, yeah.
yeah, it is.
Which is bad is that the parents allow them to do that as well, yeah.
Yeah, but unfortunately, some parents don't understand technology to the extent as the younger generation. I'm not, trying to pigeonhole, but there are parents out there that are oblivious to it and just think,
Yeah, they don't understand.
But never mind. But yeah, Arcade Unchained has been a really fun experience for me. But in other news, have you seen some of the casting for Batman, the upcoming Batman?
What is his name? Patterson? I am not very good with names.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, he's the new Batman, yeah. And that is basically what I know about the new cast.
Well, the character Bernard in Westworld?
The black dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was Felix Leiter in Casino Royale as well.
Yeah.
He's going to be Jim Gordon.
No, we're going to have a black Jim?
Yeah.
Good.
Well, I actually really like the actor.
I know, he's a very nice actor.
Actually be a really cool Jim Gordon, so I was game for that.
Yeah.
I know some people are like, oh, why is there a black Jim Gordon? But if he can play the character, why not? Why not?
They're gonna recast Joker, or they're gonna...
Yeah, there's going to be a recast for Joker more than likely.
Damn.
Although
I would like to see what was it?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix on that movie, yeah, full Joker mode.
Yeah, no, I don't know. The Batman seems to be more comic book accurate, whereas Joker was more like an Elseworld story. So I don't know if tonally they'd really fit, but it would be cool to see that.
So I just hope they don't make it so cheesy that looks like one of those French toasts with melted cheese that you pull and pull, and there is strings of cheese all over the...
No. Robert Pattinson has actually come out and said that what he wants to do with Batman is first, detective, second, fear, which is what Batman is.
Yeah.
You know, he inflicts fear and is one hell of a detective. So I think they're doing the right thing.
I think it's time to see the Batman as the greatest detective on Earth. Yeah.
That's why I like Ben
Finally.
Affleck. That's why I like Ben Affleck's Batman. He was
To do, yeah. But they never developed that part as well, yeah.
Yeah,
And definitely on the other trilogies and the other movies, it was all about fear and kick-ass.
yeah. They should have just done a solo Batman film like they're doing now in the first place. But never mind.
Do you think that will kick off the new DC universe?
Yeah, I think apparently Wonder Woman 84 might be the film to change the timeline, or what I've heard that this isn't a direct sequel, and it's kind of like a reboot, like The Incredible Hulk. Mm-hmm. So you had Wonder Woman, and then Wonder Woman 84 is a continuation somewhat, but it's like a revamped reboot in a way.
Okay, so they will retcon everything that happened on the...
Zack Snyder's films, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a shame because I love Henry Cavill as Superman, but never mind.
Cannot have everything.
Yeah.
At least you're gonna have it on the new Netflix show that will come, I don't know when.
Oh, The Witcher.
Witcher.
Yes.
Really look forward to watch that one, yeah. Actually, our friend, the Polish people, are giving us a lot of good stuff on Netflix nowadays, yeah?
Mm.
By the way, Shema to all my Polish friends. I'm talking about that series that we just saw about 5 minutes ago.
1983.
1983, yeah.
Yeah, that does actually look really good.
You really need to look at that one, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to check it out.
If you watch a TV show that was a few years ago, The Man in the High Castle.
I didn't. I've heard good things, but it didn't really interest me all that much.
Yeah, I like TV shows where the Nazis are kicked out.
So you reckon that was good, yeah?
Yeah. So it's a little bit similar, yeah. So it's basically a dystopian world where in this case, the communist and the wall never was knocked out.
Oh, right.
So we are still living in Europe where the Cold War is a thing, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, right.
So it's nice.
Okay. So that's
a very nice spy series, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yep.
Okay, so for the rest of the episode, we've obviously got Song of the Week coming up, and we're going to be doing something a little bit different and a little bit special leading up to the release of Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. We'll be reviewing each Star Wars film in chronological order, 2 films at a time, starting with Episode 1 and 2 today, and 3 and Solo next week.
Just a question before we start doing that. Do we actually have a timing to finish those things, or because we can stay here for hours talking about Star Wars? Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do a review, kind of like we did with Joker and Ad Astra, but not quite as in depth. We're gonna sort of go over what we liked, what we didn't like, and then with our
give a score. Yeah,
we're gonna give a score, but we're gonna just gonna go through the list quickly. So like, you're just going to give your number, I'm going to give you mine, and then at the end, score. Okay. And if we've got any more time, we might go into the comic book movie ranked, but who knows?
So, Song of the Week, as usual, we have our co-hoster and special guest, Anna.
Anna, yes.
She's the star of the game. So, as...
No cheating this time.
No cheating this time. Please drop your phone.
You got it straight away last time in Thriller.
We're going to try to guess the music that Big D is choosing or shuffling for us.
Yep, so the song's going to play in 3, 2, 1.
I don't know the music, but I'm liking it, yeah?
Yeah, you're loving it. It's an awesome song.
Guns N' Roses?
No, can you tell me what TV show it's from?
Supernatural?
Yep, you guessed it. So that's Stranglehold by Ted Nugent. It's in Supernatural Season 2 soundtrack.
Man, I never heard about that group, yeah?
Ted Nugent? Oh, he's awesome. He's awesome.
Never. First time.
Like 70s rock, man.
I only figured
So
out
dope.
it was Supernatural because, yeah, he has an amazing soundtrack.
I mean, I've got every single song that was on Supernatural from seasons 1 to 10. So I need to do 11 to 15 now. So, yeah, that was...
It was a nice song from Supernatural, yeah?
Yeah, Ted Nugent, man. Yeah, awesome. You need to check out his music. It's good.
Man, I'm getting that feeling that he's finishing. Yeah, the same feeling that I had at the end of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I'm having now with the Supernatural. It was
yeah.
15 years, yeah? And it's finally coming to an end.
Yeah, and the end of an era, as Rachel and Joey would say.
Spoil anything for any of our listeners or for you, Big D, because I know that you didn't saw yet episodes, yeah?
Season 14, I'm still behind on. I'm going to catch up soon.
Supernatural is... They reserved the best for the end.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm excited. I'll see season 14 by the end of this year for sure. Maybe we could do sort of like a mini review on it.
Let's carry on with this then. So
yeah, we're going to be doing a Star Wars special episode for today and also next week.
Okay, starting on the chronological
order. And I wish we had an Old Republic movie that we could start off with, because I bet that would have been really cool.
Say again?
An Old Republic movie.
Oh yeah, that will be a nice prequel.
Darth Plagueis maybe? All the old original.
Lord Sidious.
Yeah, in his younger days, as an apprentice. Yeah. Yoda as a young little green alien.
That will be a pre-sequel. The guy was like 400 years old or something like that, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so, episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
What do you thought about the movie, mate? You were a kid when it came out, yeah?
It was the first Star Wars film I ever saw. I absolutely loved it.
Of course you did. You had, what, 7 or 8 at the time? Seriously,
yes.
You were what, 7 or 8 years old, yeah?
Yeah, I was.
I was already in college, so I was a little bit more grown up than you, yeah?
Well,
And
watching episode 1 and then going back to watch episode 4 and 5, or episode 4 actually. Episode 5 was dark, but episode 4 was light, just like episode 1.
yeah, it was...
I dug it.
Some people hate Anakin, the kid that did Anakin on that movie. Hey, okay, let's be honest, the boy was, what, 8, 9, 10 years old?
Yeah.
Maybe? For an 8-year-old or 9-year-old or whatever he was doing that big of a movie, yeah? Well, let's say that he was way better than his teenager and grown-up versions, yeah?
He gave up acting because of that film, because
he was bullied at school, poor kid, yeah?
Yeah. No, I don't think he was that bad.
No, from all the Anakins that we had on the prequel, he was the best one.
You think the best?
Yeah.
Ooh, no.
Actually, he made me care about the character, yeah.
In certain scenes, I really loved.
Okay,
really
we will not get into it yet. We are talking about episode 1.
Okay, but you said that he was the best Anakin. I'm like, whoa, nah, hold your horses.
Highs and lows for episode 1. The low was definitely Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, but on the same hand, I wish I could have seen a Darth Jar Jar, which was actually the original plan.
Yes, I know.
And that's why he was like so good at what he could do. He actually had the Force.
It was one of those cases that he was so bad that he was actually good, yeah?
Yeah, well, George Lucas said something about like that he wanted to do a Yoda. So the first time we saw Yoda, him lifting the X-Wing, it's like, wow, the little thing can do that. Jar Jar was the stupid character who was actually really dark and serious.
Yeah, you can actually, I don't know if you see theories about Star Wars on YouTube.
No.
There's a lot of people talking about that Jar Jar in certain scenes is controlling people's minds.
Yes, in the Senate. in episode 2.
Not only in the Senate, yeah, he was controlling Padme's mind.
Oh.
And don't forget that the Jedi can only control the mind of the weakest.
Yeah.
The weakest minds, yeah. Padme was not what they consider weak of mind as well, yeah.
Yeah, so he was powerful.
So he was definitely very powerful. If that was actually true, he was definitely very powerful, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, they didn't develop the character to that point, yeah.
Well, he didn't have a chance to because it was such...
People hated.
Yeah, hated the character, and that's why Count Dooku was brought in. At least, I mean, you could say that some of this is just rumour.
Yeah.
I mean, it's never been 100% official. I think just to save face, but...
That will be... If they hinted at least... Okay, keep the goofy part, yeah, but hinted that he actually was a big bad, yeah? And everyone will stick to it.
Maybe like a little hint at the end.
Because, like, everyone knew that Senator Palpatine was the big bad since the beginning, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was on his face, yeah.
I think the Jar Jar reveal would have probably been until like episode 3, maybe.
Like the big reveal. Or on the second. They usually do the big reveal on the second one, yeah?
Yeah, that he could... Yeah. Could have been. Oh, who knows?
So, the highlights of that movie.
Darth Maul.
And the Jedi.
Oh, Qui-Gon Jinn, yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah, Liam Neeson is Qui-Gon.
Both of them, yeah.
And Ewan McGregor. Yeah.
So Liam Neeson was already the instructor. I don't know if that is the right word in English.
Jedi Master. Come on, dude.
He was already the instructor for Obi-Wan Kenobi, Batman, and New House in the cinema. Because he was...
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, he was the... he was... what was it?
He was Ra's al Ghul in Batman Begins. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a few characters where he was the mentor of those guys, yeah. Everyone that needed a kick-ass, badass mentor, Liam Neeson was the guy, yeah? Have you noticed that? Coincidence?
Well, because he's badass.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
He's what, 60? Almost 70?
60, I reckon. Well, maybe 58. I don't know.
Yeah, but he still kick-ass and take name or wherever he goes, yeah?
The, where he had to fight the wolves by himself.
Or the grey.
Yeah, the grey, yeah. That was cool.
I didn't like the ending. I don't know if he actually kicked the ass off the wolf or not, yeah?
Yeah.
But we are diverting from the... You talk about Darth Maul, yeah? The only complaint I have with Darth Maul is that he didn't have too much screen time.
And not a lot to say either, although that did add to the character to somewhat, where he was like... It was like the Terminator, didn't say anything.
So basically you had 3 scenes, I think, before the big fight.
Yes.
And then you had the big fight, yeah?
On a projector, and then he was on Tatooine chasing them, had a little bit of a battle with Qui-Gon, and then showed up at the end.
Yeah, and he died.
Yeah, and then he died. But not before killing Qui-Gon. And that was such a cool fight.
Chopped in half by a Padawan, yeah? Not even a Jedi Master. Just a Padawan, yeah?
Obi-Wan is awesome.
Obi-Wan is awesome.
I can't wait for an Obi-Wan TV show.
That will be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Also, the one of the highlights for episode 1 was Duel of Fates, the soundtrack.
And visually, it was one of the best ones as well, yeah?
You think?
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah, even though there was quite a lot of CGI, it was polished CGI.
Was at the beginning of this life as you know it now, yeah? Because the movie is from the 2000s, early 2000s.
It was 1999.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
No, it was 99. I know every single Star Wars release date, more or less.
I know the order in that is saying a lot, yeah.
I know that there's been at least one Star Wars every single decade since the 70s. So, yeah.
And I liked the race thing.
The race? Oh, the pod races.
The pod race, yeah.
They were kind of pointless, but they were fun.
They were made to show you that he had the Force on him. Because the Force will make you be a good pilot or something like that.
Well, it was just a good pilot anyway.
Yeah, they talk a little bit about that when...
I think
yeah. Because the Force will make the reflexes get sharper and stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what they say, but it's something like that.
Jabba the Hutt as well. That was fun seeing him. He was at the pod race.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it was like in the.
it was like a small cameo, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
And the master of Anakin's mother.
Oh, Watu was it? Or something.
It's the most despicable
Character
over there, yeah.
Yeah, although he was fun though. I enjoyed his scenes that he did. I mean,
Yeah, it was every time that the character makes you hate him,
yeah,
he's a good character, yeah. I hate Joffrey, but I love the actor because he made me hate him.
well, he's a good actor.
My guts, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just a teenager as well. I don't know the name of the actor itself, but he's on his 20s now.
Oh,
early 20s. He gave up acting as well.
No, he does want to come back. I just don't think he's found the right project just yet.
He needs to find a project where he's a psychopath because obviously he's very nice doing that kind of roles, yeah.
Well, let's see if he can expand his acting career and do some.
Get stuck to a cast type, yeah.
Yeah, but no, I actually really enjoyed episode 1. I can watch it now and sort of see the flaws. I think the biggest flaw actually, beyond Jar Jar, is that it was very political, and for that reason, it was slightly boring here and there. I mean, there was action in between.
Oh yeah, talking about the Federation, yeah, the commerce, whatever, yeah.
The Trade Federation, yeah, and the Senate, and trying to take over Naboo. But
yeah, but that actually is, if you think about it, everyone loved all those kind of scenes on Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
the conversations on the background and on the dark alleys, and episode 1 gave us all of that.
Yeah, that's true.
They gave us everything that came before.
I just think comparing it to the original trilogy now, the original trilogy was like, each film was like an adventure, whereas this one was very just sort of grounded. And I appreciate what it was. I still enjoyed episode 1, even though it's not the best, but...
Yeah. Okay, so, writing.
Yeah, do you want to do the ranking?
Yep.
Okay.
Writing, I will give it a 7.
Writing, right, okay.
I like the politics. I didn't like Jar Jar.
Yeah, that's what, yeah, it's not the best of writing, but...
It's not the worst as well, yeah?
No, it's not. It was fairly mediocre. No, 7's actually a pretty standard number, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I think personally, though, I'd probably give it just 1 less and just say 6. But that's just me.
Themes and tone.
Themes and tone. Did it work? Did the themes work with the tone? So, the themes were very political. Did it work with the tone? It was sort of... Because it was kind of a carefree film as well, wasn't it? It was very sort of light-hearted, and... I think that's actually probably where it doesn't work. That it's a very political film, but it's also very childish and childlike at times.
Yes. So choose one or the other, yeah?
Yeah, that's it. You've got Jar Jar Binks on one hand.
Probably okay if you put on the second movie, yeah?
I'd probably give it a 5 because it's just like straight off.
Yeah,
like,
I will give it.
It does work on some levels, but then it like really fails on others.
I will give it a 5 too.
Fair do.
Direction and pace. Sometimes it was very, very, very slow. Well, when you go to see a movie like Star Wars, you expect to see big action scenes, yeah?
Yeah, this is what I mean when I said it was like the other films feel like more like an adventure, and this feels like explaining things.
And that will be okay if it was balanced or didn't fight against each other. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because as soon as you have, for instance, you had the pod racing and suddenly goes to the commercial federation or whatever it's done.
Yeah.
And it breaks instantly, yeah?
Yes. Yeah, I know what you mean. And that sort of comes into editing a little bit. But I do think that, though, George Lucas did, a fairly good job at directing it. I think just the pace was off a tad, which is where I'd probably give it a 7, which I think is
Give it a 6.
You give it a 6? Okay.
Yep. Cinematography.
And lighting, color
The
palette.
best part of the movie, yeah.
Yeah, it looks
Amazing.
It looks better than episode 2, I think. I think episode 2 actually looks nice in some parts and then horrible in others. Like you can really see bad CGI in episode 2. But this one, I think it's a solid 7, maybe.
Yeah.
Again, I'd give it a
I agree.
7. And I'm being really generous here, actually, looking at the scores.
Editing, as I said, sometimes they break too fast between an action scene and a dialogue.
Yeah, although Star Wars transitions, like the side swipe and all the like.
Yeah, but that is cool, yeah.
Yeah, they've been doing that since like episode 4, haven't they? But yeah, I think the editing is a bit off. I would give it.
Give it a 5.
Would you? Okay, I'd give it a 6 just because it still has the traditional, transitions. That's a staple for Star Wars films.
Acting. This one is tough because you have very good performances
Really bad ones.
and very, very bad ones.
Really bad ones. Yeah. Or not really bad ones. Just really mediocre.
So I would like to focus on the good ones for Obi-Wan Kenobi and...
But even the good ones in this aren't that great.
No, I know.
There's no standout scene where you'd be like, wow, he showed some real emotion there. Like in episode 2, that we'll talk about it a little bit later. I'll tell you when it comes up. But there's some really good acting in episode 2, or a specific scene that I love. But in this, there's nothing really like that. It's just,
It's average.
I would even say below average. I would actually give it a 4. 4 for
Seriously?
acting. Yeah, I'm being really harsh on the
I'll
acting.
give it a 6.
I mean, I think Ewan McGregor is a top class actor, and I think Liam Neeson is a top class actor.
I was thinking about those two, yeah, and the
Yeah.
kid as well. As I said, I like the kid on that one. Yeah.
And Frank Oz as Yoda. Everybody does a good job, but there's no oomph to any of the performances.
Samuel
It feels like
Jackson
they're
was
just-
on this one as well, yeah. Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes, he was. Mace Windu's first film was in this, although he had a very sort of sideline part. He was sort of in the background. It wasn't until episode 3 that we got to
Samuel
Mace
the Jackson, yeah. Okay, I give it a 6.
Windu. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going to give the acting a 4 because there are better performances out there for Star Wars, and this was a low one. Even episode 8 has better acting than this one.
Okay, so production, costumes, set, and props.
Ooh, top of the game.
I will give it a 9.
I would give it an 8. Because I don't think it's like top, but it's definitely top of the game. I think it's definitely better than. Yeah, I mean, Star Wars production has always been good, and what's funny is that episode 4 was like really cheap, and they like mix match from other sci-fi stuff.
You
And,
cannot
like,
see
the
that.
original.
You cannot see that Yoda is a puppet, though.
No, you can't. No, and it's some amazing puppetry work.
SFX, VFX.
Yeah, so that's special effects and visual effects.
So we can argue that Jar Jar was a dumb character.
Yeah, but it was kind of. It's weird. The CGI on him was but going into Gungan City was wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really weird. Anytime there was something in the background, it looked amazing. But as soon as it came up close, it was
It's like when the army of the droids.
the CGI in that is terrible. That battle.
Way from it is okay, yeah.
No, even from afar, because the whole battle is CGI.
I know. Mate, you are talking about battle droids versus some aliens, yeah? What you wanted to...
I mean, for the time, it was probably really good. Yeah. Because there was just the amount of CGI in there,
But it didn't stick.
it doesn't hold up well.
So I will give it a 7.
Would you? Yeah, I think 7's actually a pretty good, because it's good, but it doesn't always work.
Soundtrack, I don't really remember the music.
Duel of Fates. I would give it an 8 just because of that song alone. And it's John Williams in general, Star Wars.
Okay, I will go
I think
to your...
maybe even a 9, just because the Duel for the Fates, or Duel of Fates. Somebody correct me there. I think it's still one of my favourite Star Wars songs.
I will follow your lead.
You're going to give it an 8?
Gonna give it an 8, yeah. I don't remember, so...
I might give it a 9.
I'll give it a 9.
John Williams. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 9. Screw it. I don't care. John Williams, man.
Intentions. Why was the film made?
So this is the biggest difference in the list of how we're going to review films. So you might have noticed there's a few little differences as we were going through compared to Ad Astra and Joker. Now, Intentions, before we had fun factor. And obviously, not every film is fun. And I try to say, well, if it's fun, we'll rate it like that. If it's serious, we'll rate it like that. But instead, I've sort of come up with a new way to sort of judge a film. And that's the intended audience. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Oh, intended audience for this one was... I don't believe he was thinking about old generation that saw the original trilogy, yeah?
You don't think?
No.
I think it was trying to do both, and that's where he kind of failed. He was trying to bring in a new generation and an old generation.
Obviously, the old generation went to see the movie anyways, because...
Yeah, obviously. And there are a lot of throwbacks to Episode 4, like Anakin in the yellow fighter at the end trying to destroy the Trade Federation, and then the big explosion is like the Death Star. I think there are a lot of sort of throwbacks to Episode 4, but yeah, this is why I think Intentions is a bit more of an interesting way to judge a film than Fun Factor before.
And this one was already... Disney had bought already the rights?
No, not until Episode 7. So any prequels, and also the animated Clone War movie, that was also George Lucas still.
Films,
yeah.
So we need to give a rating to this one as well?
Yes, we do. So how well do you think the film was made for its intended audience?
Oh, I will give it a 5 because I think he didn't...
He did good things and bad things.
Yeah, I don't think he completely pleased either the youngest generation or the oldest generation, yeah.
I would actually go one lower. I'm actually going to give it a 4 as well.
Okay.
Another one for me. Another 4 from me.
And finally, personal enjoyability.
Yeah. Just extra bonus points that you think it deserves.
Give it a 4 on this one.
But you can give it as little or as much as you want. And
yeah, it's just because it wasn't my favorite by far.
For me, it's Star Wars, and even the bad Star Wars films I love, and I'm gonna give it a 6. So it's above mediocre for me.
So now we need to do maths.
So yeah, now we need to add up the scores, and we're just gonna do that quick. So I've got an interesting number.
Me too.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay, what's yours?
69.
No way.
You too?
Yeah.
Oh, high five.
Okay. That's weird because we gave some really different scores
I know.
at different times. Yeah, like my personal enjoyability was 6 and yours was 4, but then my soundtrack was 9 and 8, but then acting I gave a 4 and you gave
a 6.
Yeah. Oh wow, so that just worked out the same.
Yeah.
So there you go, 69 out of 110 from the both of us.
So it was way below Joker, yeah?
Oh yeah, and Ad Astra.
It's still our best.
So working that out, that's about just above average.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what the movie was, yeah?
Yeah, it was. It wasn't terrible.
No, by all means.
At times it really was.
As you said, it's a Star Wars movie, yeah?
Yeah.
And the Star Wars movie will be always a Star Wars movie, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't like it particularly, this one, but I already rewatched it again.
Yeah, that's it. That is it.